Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel and day 12 or 13 of Vlogmas. If you guys can't tell from the brilliant lighting, I have put a light up behind my phone to just kind of help the lighting. It's very gloomy today, it's raining. There was a storm during the night. There's meant to be a lot more rain later today, which makes it perfect reading weather. So I thought I would challenge myself to finish the Windy City series before the 5th and I think final book comes out next year, which is Rewind It Back. So I have 2 left. I have them both on my Kindle. I think one is Play Along and the other is the one before that, which is the 3rd book. I can't remember the name of it right now. Caught Up. That's the one. Caught Up and Play Along are the 2 that I have left of the Windy City series, which are book 3 and 4. And then obviously the 5th one comes out next year, so I wanted to finish that. So I thought, as it's a gloomy day, get some reading done, as well as just some cozy vibes with different things going on, mostly reading. But before we get into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe down below to join the family and to join along with all of the videos I do, whether it's reading, the rest of Vlogmas, and yeah. I changed my top to one that was a bit more presentable because I went out with my mum to get the oil change for our car done. Before I went out, I got about 30 or 40-ish% way through the right move. And I just got back. I made myself a cup of tea in this very cute mug that is not mine, it's my sister's. But she's not here at the minute. She's house watching for my nan. So if she sees this video, she knows that I used it. But she doesn't really mind. She said she doesn't mind. I also picked up some earrings. There's some like star planet ones. So there's like a planet, which I think is like Saturn or something, that has the ring round it. I don't know. I can't remember now. And then a moon and then like a little stud. It's been a very long time since I put earrings in. And so I wanted to make sure to put some in. because I want to wear them for like Christmas and stuff, but I was scared that the holes had like closed off and I wouldn't be able to get earrings put back in them. And I also thought I'd treat myself, and I got a little chocolate chip cookie thing that I'm going to eat and then continue reading now. And then I hope I finish The Right Move and then I can move on to Play Along, because I definitely want to read both of them. And then that's at least one series I have completely finished. So that's my hope. I sound a little bit out of breath, but that's just because I've been running around with my dog for a bit, playing so that she will settle, so we can have some peace and read comfortably without having to worry. So I'm now further into Caught Up, which I think I called it The Right Move earlier, which is the second book in the series. This is the third, which is Caught Up. So I apologise if I said the wrong title earlier, but I'm now like 50-60% way through the book, and I'm absolutely obsessed with the dynamic between Kai and Miller. But I think I love this book so much more out of all of them because Miller has one of my favourite hobbies of all time, which is baking. And like seeing the baking side of her and her coming up with all these desserts and things like that, I'm just so much more invested. And I think that's really cool, like when a main character in a book has the same hobby or interests as you. It definitely gets you more invested into the story, or at least it does for me, because I'm reading it and it's like I'm reading on paper someone getting the same sensations and feelings that I get when I do this hobby, which in this case it's baking. And yeah, it's really interesting to read about. I will say the banter between Kai and Miller is so much fun to read, and there's definitely been a bit of a slow burn vibe thus far into the book, which is kind of ending-ish. But based on where I'm up to, like I said, like I'm halfway-ish through the book, so it's looking positive rating-wise. So I'm just going to continue reading now. I changed back into my other jumper because it's comfier, and I'm 63% way through Caught Up. Really enjoying it so far. I'll do a review of this book when I finished it, then I'll go on to, I think Play Along's the next one, and the last one that's currently out, which is the 4th, and then rewind it back to the 5th that's coming out next year. And I don't know, I might do both reviews at the end, or I might do one when I finish this one and one when I finish the other one. I put my hair in a messy bun and I'm just gonna continue reading. Not deal with this. There is a quote that just stabbed me through my heart, I think, ever so slightly, with how the dynamic between Miller and my brain has gone blank. Miller and Kai. And Jesus Christ, I don't know why my brain went, I've been reading this book. So Kai is talking to Miller's dad about wanting her to stay, and that's all the detail I'm going to go into because I don't want to give too much away about this book. But he's talking to him about the fact that he wants Miller to stay with them, and her dad asks Kai, do you love her? And Kai goes, I do, very much so. And the dad goes, she might break your heart. And he goes, I'll love her anyway. I know you will. I still have like 20% of this book left. And I'm just really hoping Liz Tomfordy does what she always does and has a very nice, happy ending for both characters. So I just finished Caught Up. Absolutely obsessed. I will give my review at the end of the video when I finish Play Along. And I believe after finishing Caught Up, Play Along is about Kai's brother, Isaiah, and Kennedy, who we met in Caught Up. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's their book. Bit of change of scenery. My sister's just like come back for a little bit from house sitting for our nan. I got changed into my pyjamas, so I'm currently upstairs in my room filming this clip so that she can obviously be downstairs in her room. And I can't remember if I told you I finished Caught Up, but I did, and I'll do the review and stuff at the end of the video. But I'm now reading Play Along and I'm loving it so much. Like, there's one quote that was like, oh come on wife, like play along, which was so funny, and the banter is just amazing and I love it. And there was another part of it where they were talking about favourite colours, and he was like, oh well, I've never had one because I didn't want to get it wrong and pick a stupid colour or whatever. And she goes, like yellow because it reminds me of you, and it reminds me of the sun, it's like super bright and blah blah blah, and he's like, oh, yellow's my favourite colour, the best colour. And I'm like, oh my god, I mean that's not an exact quote of what it says in the book, but that's kind of like the gist of it. But I'm going to continue reading, finish it, do the reviews, and yeah, that's kind of it for today. Also, the other day when I went to the shop, which I told you about, I'm pretty sure I told you about it, I picked up some candles. There's one that's Irish coffee that's over there, and I got another one that's vanilla. They smell so good, and I was going to do a haul of what I got, but I picked up some presents for my sister's birthday and for her Christmas present, and so I don't want to show you guys because then it's going to ruin it for her, because I know that she will watch this, and I don't know if she'd click off of it. Well, I don't know if she'd click off of it if I told her to, because I have, like, she'd want to look at it, so I didn't end up doing. So I have officially finished Play Along and Caught Up book. In the order I just said, it's 4 and 3. I don't know, I said it like opposite way round, which are books 3 and 4 in the Windy City series. I read 1 and 2 like a month ago or something, and obviously the 5th one comes out next year. So as far as the books that we have, I've now finished the series. I'm gonna kind of talk about them both at the same time with the review because they have the same rating. I don't know what Liz Tomfordy puts in her books, but every single book, obviously, in this entire series, every time I read the next book, it just gets better. And I don't know how that's possible, because there's tropes in here like fake marriage, fake dating, etc., that I usually like hate. And maybe it's just down to the authors that I've been reading those like tropes of, but like I just don't enjoy reading them, and yet I'm so invested in every single book that there is. I love how it's almost kind of like a found family trope as well. Like the first 2 characters, Sanders and Stevie, that we meet in Mile High, they're continuously mentioned, as well as all of the other characters from the like books before their ones that are focused on them. The dynamics and the banter between any of the main characters is so fun to read, because every single character, much like every single individual person on planet Earth, has their own flirting techniques. And I like how the women aren't desperate, like they're not desperately looking for a life partner or a boyfriend or anything. They're very strong women who have their own careers, and the men also have that, but it's not very often in romance books you find women that are very strong individuals that have their own like careers and they're not looking for anything, which is really, really, really fun to read. Like, I can't put it any other way. You're right, Bubba. Sorry, my dog's down here. But starting off with Caught Up, which is book 3 in the series, which was about Millers and Kia? Was that his name? He had a long name which was like Malakia or something. I think it was Kia or something similar to that, because Malachi, I don't know. He had a long name which was like Malachi or something. And it was the first time I've read about a single dad, and the complexities of each character I adored. The way that it was so much more found family than any of the ones that have been before, personally, in my opinion. I literally cannot fault the book for anything, which is how you know you're doing something right. I think the dynamic of having Miller's dad, I'm going to say dad. If you've read the book, you know what I mean by the quotation marks, but her dad as the coach of the team added a really cool dynamic to it. I also enjoyed how her childhood and Max, who is Malachi's son, had very similar storylines in a way. And so that dynamic was a whole fun thing to watch. And I also liked how we got introduced to the next couple, which is Isaiah and Kennedy. Isaiah being Malachi's, I think, younger brother. They're on the same team, the baseball team. And then Isaiah and Kennedy's book is the fourth book in the series, which is Play Along, which is Fake Marriage. That book, chef's kiss. Like, as I said, I don't know how it's possible, but every single book just gets increasingly better. It's something I struggle to process in my mind because all of the books before this have been so amazing. So the fact that they just keep getting better is crazy to me. Their dynamic, so much fun to read about. Like, obsessed. I think they may be my favorite couple thus far in the Windy City series. And I don't know how long it will stay like that because Rio's book is next, and I love and adore Rio so much. And I know everyone that's read this series has been waiting for his book as well. But thus far into the series of all the released books that we have, Kennedy and Isaiah are definitely my favorite dynamic. The like little flirting and stuff I talked about earlier with like the favorite color and the just play along wife, you know, they're just amazing books, and I'm so incredibly obsessed with them. And I think it's one of the only series that has been consistently like 4.5s and like higher. Like, I think most of the books in this series are 5 stars, if not all of them, which leads me to the rating of these two books, which is the same. They're both 5 stars. I can't fault them. The Windy City series for me is a 5-star series. I think, as I just said, most of them I rated 5 stars, and I think there was one that I rated 4.5, which might be the first one, just because I'm slightly harsher on the first book in a series because it's kind of like an introduction, and the first one tends to be possibly a little bit more iffy. Because obviously it's the first one and you learn from there. The only other time that I've had high rated books consistently in the series was the Crowns of Nixia series, which I read this year. I read all 3 separately. I didn't read them all together, but I read them separately, and all of them were very high rated books, but they have nothing to do with the Windy City series because the Windy City series is more a contemporary romance type series, and the Crowns of Nixia is fantasy romance, like romantasy. But with both of these books read, that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow for the next Vlogmas video. Bye!